This is Android Basics, in which we bring you up to date on the things that you should know to use your Android phone.
Up next is our segment of the Android Basics. And today we're talking about a couple items from the Play Store. There's so much to be covered on the Play Store. And today we're talking about two items. We're talking about payments and subscriptions and Pay Protect. I will go ahead and give you an overview of the whole area that we're talking about, and then I'll let the podcast crew talk about these things and see which ones of these things they like and what their thoughts are regarding the whole thing. Moving along with our Play Store exploration, today we'll be looking at a couple items. We'll be looking at the Play Protect and payments and subscriptions and all the subheads that fall within payments and subscriptions. I am on the Play Store, and what you need to do here is to tap on your username on the top right corner of the device. I'll go ahead and do so at this point.
Signed in as warrencarwarcare@gmail.com. Account and settings.
We'll go ahead and tap here.
Manage your Google account.
We are now in the menu that results from tapping on our username. I will now move my way to the fourth item, which is the payment and subscriptions.
Payments and subscriptions, 4 of 7.
I'll go ahead and tap here.
Payments and subscriptions. Play Store. Payments and subscriptions, out of list.
Tapping on payments and subscriptions, we're now on a new screen. Let's go ahead and explore the things that we find on this new screen. From the top, we have
Payment methods. 1 of 4, in list, 4 items.
we have payment methods, followed by
Subscriptions. 2 of 4.
subscriptions, 2 of 4,
Budget and history. 3 of 4.
budget and history, and last item here,
Redeem code. 4 of 4.
redeem code. Let's go ahead though and start with the top item here, and that will be payment methods.
Payment methods. 1 of 4.
Here is payment methods. Let's go ahead and tap.
Payment methods. Payment methods, out of list. Showing items 1 to 13 of 16.
Upon tapping on payment methods, I heard showing items 13 of 16. Now, of course, it depends on how many cards you have added to your Play Store. That determines the number of items that you have. Now, I have a few of them here, therefore making the numbers increase. Let's look at some of these things.
Google Play balance. 38.
I got Google Play balance and like $38 something.
Amex 1012. 3 of 15.
That's my Amex American Express.
Discover 5,720.
Discover,
Visa 7,900.
Visa card.
Rumble. Family payment method. 6 of 15.
That's my debit card.
PayPal.
That's my PayPal.
View all. 8 of 15.
Then I have one that says view all, because if I tap here, it will review more items that I have. But that's not the point here, just showing you a quick overview.
Add payment method to your Google account. 9 of 15.
Next, we have the adding payment method to your Google account. If you haven't added one, or if you have another one that you would like to add to, this is where you'll tap. Next,
Add credit or debit card. 10 of 15.
you could add credit or debit card.
Add PayPal. 11 of 15.
You could add PayPal account.
Redeem code. 12 of 15.
We come across code redemption here as well. Next,
Buy Google Play credit. 13 of 15.
we come across buy Google credit. In other words, if you want to add some funds to your Google Play, this is where you'll tap and you go choose the amount that you want.
More payment settings. 15 of 15.
This is where you could tap in and go do some other things relating to your payment. Tapping here, of course, is going to ask you to authenticate. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Progress bar. 0%. Chrome. 0%. Reauth prompt. WebView.
And putting my finger down in the middle
Verify to see payments info. Heading 1.
and
Verify it's you. Button.
verify is used. So when you tap here, whether you use the fingerprint or a PIN for your authentication, it will ask for that. Let's go back.
Play Store. More payment settings. 15.
And now let's look at the last item.
Change family payment method, 16 of 15.
The last item here is to change the family payment method. In other words, if you're using a debit card and you want to change that to a credit card instead, this is where you tap to go change that. Let's go back now to the previous screen.
Payments and subscriptions. Payment methods. 1 of 4. In list, 4 items.
We're back to the previous screen and we are on the payment methods. Next item here will be
Subscriptions. 2 of 4.
subscriptions. Let's tap on here.
Subscriptions. Progress bar. In progress. Out of list. Subscriptions.
Upon arriving on this screen, we can see our active and past subscriptions that we have canceled. So in other words, we'll see whatever current subscriptions are and the ones that we have canceled in the past. Here's what I'm talking about.
Google may share subscription data that doesn't personally identify you with developers to help them offer subscriptions. Learn more about subscriptions. 2 of 7. In list, 7 items.
Moving down,
Active, 3 of 7.
the heading for active subscriptions, and here's what I got.
Google One, 100 gigabytes. Next payment, $19.99 on September 12, 2023, 4 of 7.
Moving down,
Expired, 5 of 7.
we have the expired subscriptions. In other words, subscriptions that I have subscribed to in the past but have expired, and here are some of those.
Call recorder, Cube ACR, premium. Expired on October 12, 2022, 6 of 7.
And below that on the left, we've got a couple buttons. We've got
Resubscribe, button.
resubscribe, and to the right of that is the button that says
Remove, button.
remove button, meaning if I tap on this, it will remove it from my inactive subscriptions or cancel subscriptions. Below that,
FocusRedder RSS Reader, FocusRedder Pro Yearly. Expired on August 8, 2022, 7 of 7.
you got the drift. Now I'm going to go back.
Expire. Payments and subscriptions. Payments and subscriptions, out of list.
We are back to the previous screen where we looked at the subscriptions. The third item we want to look at on this page is
Budget and history. 3 of 4.
budget and history. Here, what it means is that you could set an amount that says, if I reach X amount, I don't want to go beyond that. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Budget and history. Budget and history, out of list.
Now, I'm going to put my finger near the top and go from there.
Total you've spent in June, 1 of 28. In list, 28 items.
I heard the total I spent in June. June just began.
$0.
I have spent diddly squat in June.
Your budget only applies to this account, and you can change it at any time.
All right. Now, below that on the left there,
Set budget, button.
set budget. So if I tap here, for example,
Set budget. 0. Edit box, out of list. Showing number keyboard.
tapping on set budget pops up the keyboard, and this is where I could type in the amount that I would like to set as my budget. In other words, when I approach that limit, it will let me know my budget is running out, so I know what I'm doing. Let's go back.
Budget and history.
And below this, you'll just see the other months and what you've spent. For example, if I move down,
May, 2 of 28.
I got May.
Carolyn TTS, $1.06. May 29, 2023. 3
So
of
that
28.
was my latest purchase and things like that. Let's go back.
Payments and subscriptions.
We're back to the previous page, and now let's look at the last item here, which is the code redemption.
Redeem code. 4 of 4. In list, 4 items.
Tab here.
Google Play Store. Enter code. Edit box. Editing. Out of list.
Tapping on that redeem code now pops up the keyboard where we could type in the code that we have. Or below that, if you have a gift card that you simply want to scan, you could just tap on that to scan that gift card.
Scan gift card. Button.
And of course, then you'll find the done at the bottom and redeem and all of that when you've done all of that that you needed to do. Let's go back.
Keyboard hit. Play Store. Redeem code. 4 of 4. In list. 4 items.
We are back to the previous screen where we saw the redemption code and all of that. Now I'm going to go back to the previous screen, so we'll go to Play Protect.
Connect. Learn and belong with inspiring game.
Doing the back gesture now takes me back to the main UI of the Play Store, and now you will need to tap on your username on the top right corner again and pop up the menu. I will now do that.
Signed in as warrencarwarcare@gmail.com. Account and settings.
And I'll go ahead and tap here.
Account and settings. Close. Button.
Now we are in that menu. The item that we're looking for is our second item, and that will be the Play Protect. That's item number 5 in this menu. I'll now tap on Play Protect.
Play Protect. 5 of 7.
Here's Play Protect. Tap.
Play Protect. Play Store. Security status. No harmful apps found. Play Protect scanned 1 hour ago. 1 of 3. In list. 3 items.
I am told that no harmful activity is found and that Play Protect scanned my device some 3 hours ago. Now, near the top right corner, we have the settings. But before we tap on that settings, let's look at what it says about Play Protect. Now, below that security status that was read, which is
Security status. No harmful apps found. Play Protect scanned 1 hour ago.
if you want to scan it, below that in the middle is the scan button.
Scan. Button.
And below that, it'll tell you some of the apps that were scanned.
Recently scanned apps. Google Play Store. Site app. Fight Electric. Bitmoji. Adobe Acrobat. PowerAmp. Plus 191. More. Apps scanned 1 hour ago. 2 of 3.
And so it tells me the number of apps it had scanned, like 190 whatever apps on there. So next,
Play Protect regularly checks your apps and device for harmful behavior. You'll be notified of any security risks found. 3 of 3.
and below that on the left is the Learn More button.
Learn more. Button.
That's what we have on this page. Let's go ahead though and tap on that button on the top right. That's the settings, and that settings is for the Play Protect.
Settings. Button. Out of list. Play Protect settings. General. Heading. 1 of 5. In list. 5 items.
The first thing we heard is the general heading, and below that,
Scan apps with Play Protect. Play Protect can scan this device and warn you about harmful apps. Switch. On. 2 of 5.
and we have a switch there that is the on/off switch. If you don't want Play Protect to scan your apps, you can go ahead and turn that off, but I wouldn't recommend that. Next,
Improve harmful app detection. Send unknown apps to Google for better detection. Switch. On. 3 of 5.
next,
App privacy. Heading. 4 of 5.
we come to the app privacy heading, and below that we've got
Permissions for unused apps. Review permissions for apps that you haven't used in a few months. 5 of 5.
app permissions and all of that, and privacy. In other words, apps that you haven't used in a few months, you can go in here and see which of those apps you haven't used and review their status. Let's tap here and see what they're talking about.
Unused apps. Back. Button. Out of list.
Tapping on that, we heard back on that top left corner, and moving down,
Unused apps.
unused apps. So basically below here, I should find the list of apps I haven't used in a while, and moving my finger down,
No unused apps.
I hear no unused apps. In other words, there are no apps that I haven't used for the last few months. Let's go back.
Play Store. Permissions for unused apps. Review permissions for apps that you haven't used in a few months. 5 of 5. In list. Play Protect settings. Out of list.
And we're back to that page, and that's it about Play Protect. I will now hand you back over to the podcast crew as we talk about these things, the things that we like and things we don't care about. Now, here's the crew. So there is the Play Protect and payments and subscriptions. Austin or John, Karen, Doug, Sally, guys, what do you think about this?
So I want to start by my question, and that was, what is this point system on the on the Play Store? So when we go to the points, I can see that my points are silver. So what are the points used for?
Well, so the points that you get when you buy something, by the way, so every time you spend $1, you get 1 point. And that accumulates over time. You can actually redeem those and make purchases both within the Play Store as well as on the Google Store. So you can actually use them as cash. It used to be that you couldn't use those, you could only use them only on the Play Store buying apps or books or whatever after you convert them. But Google has opened it up to where you can actually use those things on the Google Store as well. So keep buying away and then convert and get a little discount.
And I also want to mention it's not just for purchases, it's also for subscriptions. So, like I mentioned last week, if I can subscribe through the Play Store, I do. And this is one of the reasons because you'll get points for your subscription. So, especially if you're subscribing to something expensive like YouTube TV, which is up to almost $75 a month now. Like if you're subscribing to that outside of the Play Store, then you're missing out on 75 free points every month. So keep that in mind. It also works on your subscriptions.
That is huge, John, because if you subscribe for 6 months, you're almost up to like close to 500 points right there. And that gives you a little break. You know, every one of them, you know, like 100 points is $1. Is that how I understand it? I think so.
Yeah, if you use it to buy Play Store credit, yeah, it converts 1 point or 100 points for $1.
Yeah. So that's how you go about managing those, Austin, if you want to get your points to go up and, you know, be able to buy more stuff, you spend more moolah.
So what does silver actually mean? How can we see how much points do we have?
Well, the silver is anywhere between 1 and 5 or 499. So if you get up to 500, I think then you have crossed that silver mark. I think that's how it works. John, you remember at what level does one need to cross the silver? I think one needs to get at least 500 and above.
Yeah, I don't remember the numbers, but yeah, it is a tier system. Like it just basically is how much have you earned in the last year, and if it's a certain amount, then you'll be upgraded.
Yeah, because I have 497 and I'm still at the silver. So I'm thinking that if I put 3 more in, then it will bump me up. I'll do that this week, and then next week I'll let you know if it changes my status from silver to gold, or, you know, demotes me back to bronze or something crazy like that.
So where do I go to find this? Because I don't see any points on my end in my Play Store.
Actually, in the if you tap on your account, mine shows up right there on the top of my screen though when I go to Play Store. But if you tap on your username in the pop-up, you should see your points in there. It will tell you your status. Unless, of course, you've been buying things not from the Play Store.
Okay. I will go take a look, see if I can find it, because I have honestly never seen that before.
Then maybe you could transfer those credits to me, Cam, because it seems like you don't care about them.
Oh, I probably have so many of them sitting in here that it's ridiculous. I just never knew that they existed.
Good thing they don't expire.
That's a good thing. Yeah,
that is very true, because guaranteed I have a ton of them sitting here because I have all of my subscriptions go through Play Store.
The one that does expire though is the Google Rewards. So if you have those, try to use them. I mean, it does tell you when they're going to expire. Mine, I have 4 cents expiring in July, so I might as well use it for something. Now, so what I like about the payments and subscriptions is that history thing and the budget. I like the fact that if you're in a tight spot, you could set a budget for yourself. So maybe say, hey, I'm only going to set up like $20, a month or whatever, $20. If I reach $18, $19, then it will let me know that I'm coming close to exhausting my budget. And so if you don't want to be spending money or someone jumping on your account, maybe in a family, and someone jumps on there and purchasing something over the budget that you have set up, then you need to set up that budget so no one can go beyond that. So even if someone buys something, say I have only $3 left for my budget to be reached, and a kid decides to buy something that's $5, it's not going to let them go through because it's over that budget. I think I like that whole idea, most especially if you have family members that you've added to your account.
Yeah, it's kind of like similar to is it called digital wellness? What we went over a few months ago, where you like can limit your usage in apps and stuff. It's sort of similar to like that. It's like, yeah, you can set a budget for yourself, but if you really want to buy something, you're just gonna override it in the end anyway.
Yeah, you can override it, but if a kid is trying to buy something, for example, they're not going to be able to get that. They have to get my permission to override it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Another part that I like here, though, is those subscriptions where you can cancel and yet it still lets you keep using it till that trial is over, like we said last week. And as you can see in my overview, even those that I have been done with since last year, they're still sitting there. In the event that I decide, hey, I want to restart this subscription, then all I need to do is tap on resubscribe and it will get started again. Or if I don't want to see them, then tap on that remove to get rid of it. I like the way Google has it. I think it makes it easier to manage your subscriptions.
Yeah, because I do that. I have a lot of subscriptions that I don't keep all the time. Like I mentioned YouTube TV earlier. It's so expensive, but I kind of need it during football season. So every September I go in there and I just go reactivate my subscription. And then, when I'm done using it, I just cancel it.
Brilliant, because they actually give you sometimes like 3 months free. And by that 3 months, football is almost over. So
Yeah, but I'd have to get a
brilliant.
new Google account, a new IP address, a new credit card, a new
Oh,
billing
no.
address, because they know I've used my free trial. They're not gonna
Okay,
let me
that
do
makes sense. But I think that now and then, though, they like to offer it to you again. I've seen them trying to offer it to me several times. I think I tried, especially the YouTube Music a while ago, or maybe it was the Google TV. I don't remember, but one of those, and they've been offering it to me again, 3 months free. And I don't know. I'm not into that kind of stuff, but I think that's probably the best way to go if you want to look up something that you really like. Then you wait till the season and jump on it and use it, and then tell it goodbye. Play Protect, that's another thing. What does Play Protect do? So Play Protect, the whole idea is that before an app is installed for you on the Play Store, the Play Protect checks that app against malware. And also if you sideload an app or an APK, it also checks it for malware. So that Play Protect is like an in-between, a go-between you and the apps, just looking out for your own good, in the sense that, hey, I want to make sure that what you are getting is not something that's going to harm you. However, as you can hear in my overview, if you don't want that, you can always turn that off. And so in that case, you're doing things on your own and you don't care about what Google does or does not do. And so if you prefer to not have the Play Protect your apps, then you turn it off, as I show it there in that overview.
So two things have happened with the Play Protect, and in India especially, there are some very cheap TVs, low-cost TVs coming with Android, but they do not come with Play Protect enabled. They are built on Android's open source project. So Google has sent a notice to see if your TV is Play Protect enabled, and only then your TV will be certified to run Android. Also, second thing that has happened is Play Protect is getting better and improving, but it still scores low on many malware protection software. So if you want to install sensitive apps on your phone, or you're doing some financial transactions, I think it's better to just install a second security software and take an opinion on the apps that you have installed. And then, if you want, you can uninstall the second security software that you have installed.
Exactly. And that's what it is. That's why Google has a list of those that are certified by Google. So that includes, your regular TVs and set-top boxes. Look at that list and know which ones to get.
So Play Protect is improving, but it still scores less on various malware surveys, and also it's better to install some antiviruses or second opinion security softwares if you do financial transactions on your phone or something very sensitive.
So in other words, what you're saying is that one should install a virus protection app.
Yeah, if you're sideloading apps or you're downloading apps from questionable sources, then you need to install that. Or if you want to be extremely careful to do financial transaction or sensitive business transaction, then you need to install that.
But I thought that people usually would scan those things before they download them, or after downloading them, they submit them to some kind of a virus checker before they install it. If that's not, I think that's what one should be doing if you're someone that sideload apps.
I think only very technical people, those who know what virus total and virus checker sites are, will submit them. The others are at the mercy of Windows Defender or the virus that they have installed on their PC, or the antivirus that they've installed on their PC, and the way they download apps. So they are the mercy of that. So then it's better to have an antivirus on their mobile just for a second opinion.
Yeah, and this is something that varies from person to person. I happen to be one of those that I'll never put any of such things on my phone. And I've been using Android for many years. I have never had any problem. Of course, and I don't sideload APKs.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And that's the same with Windows. I just use Windows Defender. I think the best thing you can do is just be smart. Don't go outside the Play Store unless you need to, and obviously don't get cracks and stuff like that, because that's not gonna get you anywhere good.
Being a 10 years of Android user, I never installed any antivirus on my phone, so I just know where to download and install apps. I think that's the best, as John said.
Yeah, just be smart. I think that's the best defense.
Another problem that sometimes I hear people that have those so-called antivirus, whatever, on their phones, is actually kind of running things in the background, actually may even slow down your phone or heat up your phone. But again, this is why we have choices. If you think that makes you feel better, hey, go ahead and get that. Personally, it's not something that I do. It's not a practice that I do, and I've never recommended for anyone to install those things. I stay clean away from those things.
So what I do is I install the antivirus, any antivirus that is free, and I do not enable any real-time protection or something. But I just every time just scan my phone once in a time, once in a week maybe, and get an opinion, is something wrong with it. And before scanning, I always update the antivirus. That is important.
If you don't have real-time protection going on, something slips in that cannot be removed, then you're toast. What's the whole point of having it if you don't have real-time protection?
I scan it once a week, so then it'll detect it anyhow.
I would rather have the Google Protect do my scanning every day that it does than, have something and you only use it once in a week. What if something slips through? Then now what?
So I enable protection if I think that I'm going to sideload apps and do some financial transaction. Then I just keep all the protections enabled.
I want to agree with what John said, actually, because it's your duty to know the sources that you are getting the apps from. So you should just, if you want to sideload APKs, you should use the reputable sources like APKMirror, for example, which itself does some scanning for the APKs which are uploaded there. And also don't use cracks, because whenever you're using a crack, you are exposing yourself to the risk. So whenever something happens to you, it's your responsibility and it's your mistake at the first place. So don't use cracks and you should be safe. And of course, use reputable resources, as I said before, or sources actually.
Take that word from the wise lady,
Yeah.
guys, because frankly, someone says, I'm giving you something free. Just
Yeah, I think the definition of a crack is somebody has gone in and modified the app to do something illegal. And you what are the chances that they're not up to something else while they're in there that's going to benefit them? Like, they're not
exactly,
doing this as a gift to you.
Yeah,
exactly.
let me give you an example about Jisho itself. You know that Jisho cracks are actually so much popular with people, unfortunately. So someone was offering people the cracked version, but with like a paid subscription. People should pay something for this cracker. Yeah, it's a stupid something and unethical, but not commenting on this. But what people were able to know after that this crack was itself a malware, and it was doing much more harm. So yeah, and he was
So
letting
if you want
people
to
pay actually.
if you want to pay the cracker to get the software, it's better to pay the developer and buy the software.
Yeah, but it was cheaper actually. So yeah, people were.
Yeah. So if the developer is selling it to you for $10 and this guy is giving it to you for $2, it sounds like a better deal, right? But
Yeah,
then
it was.
is
It will take
harvesting
your
your
data
moolah,
actually.
harvesting your moolah behind you. I love it. Absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. What has the world come to? But yeah, if something is free, you need to double check that, because somebody's reaping the benefit somewhere, to be honest. Most especially when it's a crack. And it's not like we're trying to pour water on people or anything, but it's just one needs to be smart, because your device is more important than that $2 software that you could have just legally purchased, or $10 app that you could have legally purchased. So it's not worth the trouble going down this road. But of course, this is just our personal opinions.
Well, so there is a saying in China, if there are any Chinese listeners in our podcast subscribers or YouTube subscribers, don't be that rich to buy something cheap, they say.
Thank you.
Yeah.